Good afternoon, everyone. It is 4:03 on June 30th. There goes June 2025, and this is a special meeting of the Redevelopment Commission. I am playing the part of Deb Meyerson today and pinch hitting for her. So with that, let's begin with a roll call of commissioners.
Randy Casti, present.
John West, present.
Lori McRobbie, present.
Steve Scambaluri, present. And let's also look at staff present, please.
Anna Tillian Hansen, Director of Housing and Neighborhood Development.
Christina Finley, Hand Department. Tammy Caswell, Hand Department.
Thank you.
Carrie Thompson, Mayor.
Anna Dragovich, Capital Projects Manager.
Angela Van Roy, Hand.
Julius Mitchell, Legislative Affairs Specialist.
Mary Office, Mayor.
Margaret Manchek, Office of the Mayor.
And that's it. Okay, thank you, everyone. So our new business this evening takes us first to Resolution 2584, rejection of bids from second public offering for Hopewell South, blocks 9 and 10. Who will be speaking to this?
I think I will go ahead and give a presentation on both resolutions that are before you now, if you would. So in 2023, the RDC authorized in Resolution 2373 the public offering of Hopewell South parcels. Responses received did not appropriately serve the goals and vision of Hopewell South. A second revised public offering was issued in 2024. Responses again received did not appropriately receive the goals or vision of Hopewell. As you know, Bloomington faces severe housing challenges as the most housing cost-burdened metro area in the state. Last week, I presented on some of the barriers to housing in our current climate. In the midst of a housing crisis, it is imperative that we provide attainable housing for the population who live and work here. This needs to be the housing that our community deserves. We have to get this right. That is why you have two resolutions in front of you today. One is to reject the bids of Hopewell South. The other is to accept a new proposal to finally get this project started in the right trajectory. This proposal offers an opportunity to pilot development in a new way, by locals and for locals. This proposal is still guided by the master plan's goals for walkability, equity, sustainability, and connectivity. This proposal outlines a comprehensive scope of work for redeveloping Hopewell South. By providing a coordinated design for the initial blocks that would allow small to mid-sized local builders to tackle their development, democratizing neighborhood development through design and policy. The initial scope will provide a comprehensive site design, yielding all design required for shovel-ready projects quickly. Crucially, this redevelopment directly addresses Bloomington's housing crisis and the shortage of attainable homes for residents. This proposal is geared towards providing a diverse mix of housing types at all range of price points, creating options for first-time home buyers, the local workforce, and families, not just luxury apartments or student rentals. The proposal includes providing a design team that will work from block and street level down to individual lot, providing a plot plan of proposed lots to be platted. Each lot will be provided with a coordinated construction site plan with a selected home catalog plan placed on the lot. Home arrangement along the street will be designed to maximize the overall completed streetscape and unit mix diversity goals. Utility connections, required easements, grading, and stormwater can be designed prior to offering the lots with completed designs for development. This strategic alignment between infrastructure connections, site design of lot layouts, coordinated design of homes from a pre-approved catalog allows the city to provide a range of housing in a great new neighborhood for the 21st century that serves as a magnet for the Bloomington residents while also allowing our local building community to participate. So now you have a resolution 2584, the rejection of bids from the second public offering for Hopewell South, blocks 9 and 10.
Thank you. I also want to acknowledge we have joining us virtually Margie Rice, Corporation Counsel, and Jessica McClellan, City Controller. So is there any additional context you wish to provide? So, okay. Questions and comments from commissioners. John?
Have the bidders been contacted
Yes.
personally?
Yes. We have had initial conversations. Of course, nothing is solid until you vote here today. So we did discuss, though, some concerns that we had with them. And they are both willing to participate in potentially the new trajectory.
Okay, additional questions?
No. That's the primary one I wanted to make sure of. And then when we look at this from a rejection standpoint, taking into consideration what the goals and we had defined of what we had, the ability to get those with the proposals we received is unable to be attained at this particular moment. So the rejection of these will then put us into the next section of how we can make our goals of attainable housing at affordable price with the structure to be able for them to be accomplished in a reasonable time frame without just wishing and hoping that we can actually put shovels in ground and get people in housing.
That's
That's the goal. Okay.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Additional questions?
That's my concern as well.
Okay. In which case, we now go to public comment on Resolution 2584. There are members of the public who would like to speak to this? Yes, please. Come on forward, introduce yourself, if you would, and your role.
This is on the first or the second?
First, rejection.
I'm coming back for a second.
We'll be back soon. So, any further comment or any questions from commissioners? If not, is there a motion?
Move
Go right ahead,
move
Laura.
approval of Resolution 2584 to reject all bids for Hopewell Blocks 9 and 10.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you. Okay. That brings us to Resolution 2585, approval of an agreement with Flintlock Lab for comprehensive and coordinated design of Hopewell South, Blocks 9 and 10. Anna, do you have anything in addition?
I do not.
Okay, questions, comments, or questions from commissioners? John?
I've got several. Dana, mine are going to be contract related. So the easiest one is that we've got Exhibit A that refers to the proposal. But if you read Exhibit A, it says refer to the following, and so that means you need to move the Exhibit A. It's placed in the wrong place. That's all. See what I'm talking about?
Got it?
Yeah. It says 7 through 12 in the following document. So it needs to be ahead of the document it's referring to. That's just a placement issue. Let me know when you. We can walk through that later if you want.
Yeah, I get it.
In section 4 of the contract, it has deleted any language about retainage, but the proposal on page 13 calls for $1,500 in retainage, so it looks to contradict.
There should be no retainage.
The proposal does contain $1,500 of retainage. It's buried in there.
I'm sorry, what number is that buried under?
Section 4 of the contract, and then page 13 of the proposal.
We can correct those items.
Yeah, I just didn't know which it was supposed to be.
1,500 was included in Ally's proposal.
Well, I'm probably okay either way. It just needs to be consistent. And then in section 12 of the contract, let's see, what would be
Are you
page-
referring to indemnification?
No, of the contract. That would be, ownership documents and intellectual property, section 10. It says that all documents, drawings, and specifications, including digital format files prepared by contractor and furnished to the RDC as part of the services shall become the property of the department. I don't know who the department is.
The department would be the Department of Redevelopment, which is housed in Hand, which is the service.
Could we
for-
just say become the property of the RDC
Yeah.
and be consistent? I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
For me.
Timeline.
In my conversations with the consultant, it sounded like, provided that the city got them everything that they needed on their timeline, that it would be approximately 6 months to move dirt. Of course, in the construction business, we're always at the mercy of a number of things, including weather, which we have no control over, but that would be the goal.
Okay. And based upon you as our representative within the city, the other departments, do they feel as though they can acquire the necessary engagement and documents within a month, 3 months?
Permits.
Yeah, well, permits, no, a different story.
That is the
But-
goal.
Yeah, so are we thinking 1 month, 3 months to combine, and then 6 months to identify? I'm just trying to put a little timeline on it so we all know when the party should start.
I think that this is all part of the bigger question. So as you'll notice in the proposal, a code analysis is included. So that is partially what the consultant will be doing, is meeting with each department to find out what is legally available and then looking at an overlay to potentially see what we can do to accomplish our goals. So 6 months included the analysis and then platting, but again, they will only be able to move as fast as our city departments are. I think we do have full administration support. I don't know, Carrie, if you would like to speak to that at all?
Good afternoon. Let me start with the bigger why. Getting a full layout that the RDC is invested in is targeted to really reduce a lot of the developer risk. We've put this out for proposal twice. We are really grateful to the developers that submitted proposals, and we want to maximize the amount of attainable housing that we can drive at Hopewell. That was the overall initial goal. That's still what we want to do, and what we know is that if we're walking it through the process, it's also a good opportunity to really audit the way that our planning process works and see when you have things that do and don't meet the current zoning, how quickly can you get through the process? We know, and it's a concern of the administrations, that development has been very slow in Bloomington. It takes a long time to get a permit, and that costs money, not just to the developer, but that end cost gets ultimately passed on to the person who lives in the unit. So that very timeline is actually driving our housing cost up. So we're really proposing to use Hopewell as a guinea pig for how can we get things moving quickly, and how can the city learn from its own red tape what we could possibly remove to accelerate this timeline. The consultant is ready to go and says that barring getting in our own way, we'll be ready to move dirt in 6 months. And our departments know it's my priority to move dirt as quickly as we can. We also have to comply by all the zoning that's there. So this should inform all of us what the red tape is that may not need to be there, and also what we may need to be looking at in the bigger picture in order to alleviate some of this cost from other housing developments.
Help get our costs down.
That's right.
Good goal.
Yeah.
Good goal.
More and more affordable.
Yeah.
So what the city controls, of course, we don't control lumber prices, et cetera, but we do control policy and the speed at which we're able to implement that policy. And so it's my commitment to get that as low as possible, as quick as possible.
Excellent. Excellent. That answers that question.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it very much, Mayor. Then, when we get into, after we go through and we look at this, when we get into the platting aspect of it, which would be a necessity, will that be something that will be coming back after the evaluation and such, once the determination is made? That will then be looked at through the RDC on how that process goes through, or will that also be combined at the same time as we're doing this?
It's a very good question. Do you want to see it back in front of you?
It could increase the timeline.
Anything that increases the timeline? No.
Yeah.
No. I think everybody's starting to hit it on the head that we need to be process-driven, priority to attain housing at the most affordable cost possible for the members of our community, because we're talking about future generations here, and that's important. So-
But that said, there's enough meetings that I can't imagine that we can't see applied.
Yeah.
It would be my assumption that we would be coming back to you with updates, regular updates as
Right.
we're moving through the process. So it would really depend on whether you would want some sort of final authorization before everything moves forward through plating, or if we just keep you informed as we're going.
We don't have to answer
And,
that
and I
today, do we?
think I would also say that she is our consultant right now. She is not a developer with a fully baked plan. We are going to be working collaboratively, so if there's feedback we want to provide, she is our consultant.
Perfect. And we meet a couple times a month, so
Mhm.
we will be operationally.
I'm not
informed.
hearing an interest in approving a
No.
plat right now, so why don't we just move forward
Yep.
with updates
Sounds
at
good.
each meeting as possible. Other questions from commissioners? Okay. Comments from the public?
Oh, no.
Now time.
All right. Hello, my name is Jen Pearl, and I'm the president of the Bloomington Economic Development Corporation. We're a nonprofit that serves all of Monroe County in attracting and growing quality jobs and wages for the community. While I can't speak on the specific technical aspects of this proposal, we are very appreciative of any considerations for moving housing forward. When we meet with HR directors from local companies, when we meet with prospective businesses that may wish to land here, workforce is always at the top of the list. And we know that locally, our cost of living is around 99% the national average, yet our wages have lagged that. So anything that can be done to bring a diversity of housing for workforce in our area is very important. It helps make people more sticky to this area in case there is a disconnection with their current employment. They have ways that their families can be here as well. The other thing I wanted to speak on is just the ability to expedite permitting and approvals. That is something that we generally consistently hear from developers and others that we work with in the area. That's often a challenge, and so broadly speaking, we are in favor of that as well. I'll leave the technical aspects of this proposal to the others, but I did want to comment on those aspects. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Pearl. Additional comments?
Good evening, Commissioners, Mayor. This is Christopher Mg from the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce. We are a 900-member organization. 80% of those are small businesses, and I just want to applaud the RDC, Ms. Killeen Hansen, the Mayor's office, on something that's pretty innovative, bold as we move forward with Hopewell neighborhood where cynicism is sort of drawn into this and where hope was kind of running out, that we see now a path forward. I'll reiterate what Ms. Pearl from BEDC said. The permitting process is something that I spoke to on the 18th of this month before the council recess on. I get a lot of calls on that. It's sort of overtaken where our members struggles with the permitting process in Bloomington being way too slow. And I think this gives us an opportunity to an incubator to see what we can do with sort of an expedited expectations, because Hopewell, I think, is that opportunity and that sort of positivity that we're all sort of looking for within the community. I think looking at the Flintlock plan or initiative that pre-approved missing middle housing, it's practical, replicable. It creates opportunities for local builders. A lot of what I'm hearing from local builders is they didn't think they was going to chance to get involved in Hopewell. This gives them that. It preserves the spirit of Hopewell, but it adapts it. I think the conversations I've had since this administration took over is like, is this going to be doable? Or is this moving forward even going to be possible? Now it feels like it is possible. So this meets the Chamber's priorities: attainable housing, local business participation, and it's community driven. So I thank you all for your time tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Under. Additional comments from the public? Okay. And online, are there anyone? I see a raised hand from Amy Chitwood. Welcome, please go ahead.
Yes. Hi. I'm Amy Chitwood. I'm the president of the Builders Association of South Central Indiana. I would like to voice our strong support for the proposal before you. We shared many years ago several concerns regarding Hopewell. Builder members were unable to respond to RFPs largely due to the initial cost required to invest in a response that may or may not reach fruition. There are many obstacles to housing, particularly creating new housing. This proposal removes several barriers, making participation from our local building community, I believe, achievable. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Additional comments online? Okay, and can you lower her hand, please? Okay, seeing none?
I would like to explain one of the questions that John had. The question, she had asked for retainer. Retainage is different. Retainage is when you have a building project and you withhold a certain amount of those funds until everything's been approved. I did not reference the retainer in the cost that she had outlined because the city has a policy we don't pay retainers. And so that's why there is no retainer that would be paid because the city doesn't expend money that they don't get anything for.
So the 1,500 is just holdover money until?
The 1,500 would be money that we would pay her to contract with her, but the city doesn't pay retainers, so we're not paying her 1,500 to start. Okay. We'll pay her as she goes along. And the retainage, again, that's where you withhold money on the project. Yeah. So it's, the way it's stated is right. I'd have to go back and remember what that was. But yes, so the city doesn't pay retainage.
Where's the 1,500 go? Is it on the back end or so on the front end?
It doesn't go at all.
Doesn't go anywhere.
She just invoices based on the cost shown in the back, and then she gets paid on those for the work that's completed.
Okay.
So if, I don't want to beat it to death, but if it's not part of what we're offering, then it needs to come out of the proposal.
Well, it's not in, well, it's in the proposal, but it's not referenced. The only parts of the proposal that I reference are the only things incorporated into the contract. So when it comes to page 13, it is only, the amount would not exceed as the cost is outlined on page 13.
Gotcha.
So I'm only referencing the cost there, and again, for the scope of services, it's only the pages that are referenced.
And that's 9 through 12.
I didn't want to take them out of context. I wanted you to be able to see the whole proposal. But those are the only parts that are incorporated into the actual contract.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Additional questions? If not, I have one. I'm curious, I realize Hopewell is the purview of the Redevelopment Commission, I get that. But have we received any feedback from the members of the Plan Commission or Council on our proposed relationship with Flintlock?
Your proposed relationship with what?
With Flintlock?
No, we have not.
Okay, thank you. Additional questions? Any comments?
Yeah, only one last comment, and we don't have to talk about this today, but I'm not fully supportive of advocating, not having a review of the plat. So I'd like to be able to have that conversation at a later date.
Because that's not part of the proposal at the present moment.
No, it's not.
So it's a separate entity. Okay.
Dana, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you could vote on this with those
Oh, yeah.
amendments to the
The way we
contract.
settled the conversation made it look like we didn't need to see it.
Right, and the actual plat is something different that the RDC will have to vote on and sign. So it will come before the RDC.
Lord? Any other questions, comments? And if not, is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll move approval of resolution 25-85.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Thank you.
Make something happen.
Is there anything under business or general discussion that we need to take up?
Not today.
Commissioners, anything?
I think it's the right step forward, try to make something happen.
Yes.
Get it moving in the direction that we want and what the community wants, desires, and needs. So there.
One. I can just congratulate the city on taking this step and bringing back something that really is innovative and that seems to be generating excitement, and that
Positivity.
feels good. Thank you.
And it's cost effective.
Hopewell has hope.
Yeah. There you go.
That's
There's a
right.
T-shirt in there somewhere.
It's a t-shirt.
Yeah.
But if there's nothing further, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. We are done. We are adjourned.
Thank you,
Bravo.
Commissioner.
Thank you.
Yay!